Okay, so my name is, it's really hard, so don't try. Unless you're German. German and Israeli can say that letter, yeah, chat, chet. But you can call me Oz. I do game design. I'm working inside Intel. It's not really something that is, it's pretty weird. So that's why no one knows what I do inside Intel. I'm kind of a secret. Anyway, so let's start by showing you something. Thanks for coming. Let's start by showing you something, and then we'll talk about this. Where did I put it? I dropped it. Sorry, hold on, there it is. It should, you see, oh, okay. You see the problem or no? Okay. Until they'll try to solve it, let's go back to here. Okay, never mind. So in the meantime, they fixed the HDMI stuff. So the thing is that we started off with, like a few years ago, with thinking about how kids play. Oh, it's back. Good. So we started off thinking about how kids play. And most of the kids, when they start playing, they imagine. And this is a key part of the development in general, but also games, as they evolve, as the ages grow, as kids grow, as players grow, we give them games that are more controlled. That as a game designer, I have full control of everything that's happening, starting from the scene and ending in the gameplay, what the player can do, where they can go. They spoke about storylines, so the game designer knows exactly, a good game designer knows exactly where the player is and what they should feel every single second in the game. And this takes a lot of the imagination out of it. A few years ago, we started up thinking about what can we do with the power of Realsense, what it allows us to do, and to put this imagination back into the gameplay. Let me try again and connect the device. And show you something. Okay. Now it works. It worked before. Yeah, awesome. Okay. So back out. We had it working. I can promise you. Okay. So I'll keep it like that. Okay, so this is like, who knows worms? Worms? Yeah, okay, fantastic. So let me take something that I've, oh, jeez. Okay, I'll hold it. Okay, maybe it's I had another one that was working in the morning. Maybe, yeah, there was maybe it's another. Push it in. Yeah, can you just help me push it? Yeah, exactly. So what you see here is that We've scanned this in the office. I'll show you in a minute how can we scan an environment like this. And now I have these little creatures that fighting each other, but they are fighting inside the office. So for example, if I shoot on a creature, it hits the, but if I will now try to make a shot behind walls, for example, this creature, if he would try to shoot the red one over there, it would collide in the wall. So what happens here is that yeah, that's it, okay. So what happens here is that we are now allowing the players to create their own playable scenes on a game that we've created. So we've created the game, but the players can now design their own environment. So last year, when I was here, I showed you the robot that walks around the table or the environment. And this was something that was, last year it already worked. Like you could just go around the full room and missions would pop up as you go and explore the environment, and you would become stronger. Your character would become stronger and more advanced, and more weapons and stuff like that. What happened since? Like in a way, this is even better. We have more ideas for that. I suppose you do. All of us have. But what Intel wants to do always is try to make things smaller and like work on smaller devices. As you all know, Intel has been far from the mobile industry for a little while, and we are trying to get back there as a company. And so they've asked us to try and make these games work on smaller devices, cheaper, weaker devices like phones, or because the other game that we had last year was working on a very powerful Intel computer with a Windows, and we were trying to do something on an Android device, a phone. The second challenge is, again, I talked about the fact that we do not have the power and the control on the scene that the players are creating. If they could create any scene, maybe the game will not work on a scene like that, and I'll show you an example in a minute. And the last challenge that we had since last year is making the gameplay sessions shorter in order for them to allow the players to scan smaller areas and not bigger ones. So I've shown you this game. The idea is that to scan, this is only one idea. I'll show you the other implementation. The idea is to scan a static skin. You scan it once, and that's it. It's going to stay there. It's one file on your phone. You can do this right now with an SDK. I'll talk about this. We'll talk about this in another talk. But you can do this right now. It's available for free in the SDK. You only need the camera. You can scan a scene and you get it in a one file, like I showed you an example, and I can show you outside if you want afterward. And you just scan something and it stays there. It's just one file. Of course, you can in the future you can obviously share the file with a friend. So one kid can create his own room environment and then share it with others. I mean, possibly. We didn't do this. We didn't implement this, but it's possible. And so you can obviously have a rating system on scenes from people coming in. So you could obviously create some sort of a social interaction on these scenes. Several ideas. Here are several ideas for good gameplays that could come up with such an environment. Racing cars is one of the concepts that we tried to do. It worked pretty good. You could have your own racetracks designed inside your living room, inside your, the kitchen, the living room, between the legs of the mother, whatever you want, right? It's working. It's good. Another concept can be a tower defense. if some of you don't know what that means, is it's a name of a gameplay. It's an idea of a gameplay game, a type of games that you have enemies that are attacking your castle or something, and your base, and you can put towers that shoot on the enemies while they come closer to your castle. So if you scan a static scene, and then you can place the castle, and then an enemies would come near to your castle according again to your scene. And then you can place enemies, turrets, to fire them, etc., etc. We also tried to do stealth games, which is you need to go from one point to another, while turrets or like cameras are trying to look for you, and you need to place objects in order to hide yourself from these looking eye. So, how much time do I have? Okay, fantastic. So I've showed you that we can also do some real scans. So let me show you, lastly, let me show you the example of what I did here. And I hope this works better now. Let's see. Fantastic. Okay. So again, smaller scene, smaller scan, and instead of the same robot, just different colors. And what we did is something like that. This is some kind of a meter that we built in order to let the player know that his scene is good enough for play, his playability. This is one way to let the player know that he can play with what he did. This is just another way to overcome some sort of technical problems that we always have, like every system has. And what you see here is just that it keeps on sticking, and when I lose tracking, it tells me where to go back. So it tells me where to go, and it comes back to it. Even though everything, like here, everything works on an Android device, and that's something that is really, it's really powerful in terms of the performance. Now, the cool stuff is that it's not just a robot. When you fire on things, it's stuck on them. Do you see the? Let me show you from that side as well. You see, it's stuck on the yellow box. Now, I was supposed to collect like 60 of these little ones, but I can also shoot zombies. There's many tasks here again. It's something that is being built for, and so anyway, you can come play outside, whatever you want. Yeah. And if you want to know how to develop such things, there is a talk in 12 today in the room of the development on really getting to the code of this kind of applications. Thank you.